Let's rage.
What's going on, YouTube? Alright, so just a quick rant. Personally, just an updated video on the Rhino rod. I actually purchased the rod and reel combo for my son so he can get some fishing in. And I went with the Rhino due to the fact that they say this rod is indestructible. Fishing, you know, takes a lot of toll on rods and reels and stuff like that. But when a rod that's supposed to be indestructible falls apart on a 2-year-old, and I mean, when I mean fall apart, I mean literally just like a defect with the eyes falling out. Now, the pole was split in half for a reason. I was told by customer service to mail them the whole rod. And I told them personally, I don't want to have to spend $10-15 to get a box to mail this back. Now, it might sound cheap, but this is just something I didn't want to have to do. I didn't want to have to go and dish $15 out and, you know, mail the whole pole back and then have to pay UPS, which is out of town, drive all the way out of town just to ship this out. I mean, that literally would have been a pain. So what they told me to do was cut out the serial number off the rod, which is great. Customer service is really good with Zebco. That's why it's more or less just a rant on they should not place the words indestructible on this rod. Now, I've seen these rods actually break, and I've seen a lot of these rods with defects. I have a buddy who actually purchased his after I purchased mine, and his actually snapped in half. He called customer service and went through a big old issue because he lost his 250 depths swim bait, and he was pretty upset. He pretty much didn't care about the rod. He wanted his swim bait back, which was, they cost about $200. And they wouldn't replace that, of course, and I could kind of understand the reason for being on that. Because they really don't have any proof. We didn't have it on video when he lost it, and we didn't have it on video when his post snapped. But he had pretty good fish on there, and his rod pretty much snapped right in half, and the line snapped due to the sharpness of the rod. He was trying to get the fish back in, and well, he was more concerned about his 250 depths, and snap, $200 down into the river. So it was a pretty bad day, and he contacted them, and They were going to replace his rod without even having to ship it back, which was cool. And so, I mean, he just wanted his depths 250 back. He wanted Rhino to replace it because he bought just the rod itself, and he bought the heavier one, you know, for more reliability. And it just became a headache. But anyways, so I took my little 2-year-old son out to the ponds to go do some fishing, and I had him casting spinner baits for the small bass in there. And I thought my son had a tangle. I thought it was all tangled up on the rod, his line. And then I noticed the eyelids were not in place. So we had to roll it up and call it a day. His son was pretty upset. They didn't want to leave. I would have let him use my rod and reel, but I pretty much spent a lot of money on mine. And, you know, didn't want to go that route, so we called it a day. But we're gonna head back out. I got another rod and reel. I mean, not the best, but I mean, it'll work for him, so we can get back out there and fish. But yeah, I just wanted to pretty much lay this out, you guys. The Rhino rod is not indestructible, and it's a nice rod. Honestly, it really is. It's a really nice rod. It's light, but I mean, just for, you know, defects like this to happen to you while you're out fishing is pretty much worse than getting backlashed on a a bait caster or wind knots, you know. this is something you can't fix. I mean, this is literally what you would consider calling it a day and ending your day trip sooner than, you know, normal, and upsetting. So you can see they just fell right out of there. Fell right out, excuse me. So I had to, as I stated, cut out the serial number, which was a pain because I don't have any tools to cut. And I think it's not safe for them to tell you that, you know, what I told them was I have a really nice YouTube channel. I told them I can make a video on this, send them the video. That way they can see the defects and they'll have the proof that the rod is not workable. But they insisted that I cut through the fiberglass and get the serial numbers out. Not a safe thing to do, guys. You will get cut. So I decided to make the video anyways. But yeah, I'm pretty upset. You know, I'll show you guys my setup. This is what I run. This is my pole here. This is the Sweep Fire. And I run the Mitchell 300. I run 40-pound braid with a 25-pound leader line. Right here. I use the Albright knot. And I use a snap swivel so I can switch out my swim baits. So that's my setup there. Here's the rod, the reel, which is now pretty much what you consider just hanging until we get another rod to put it on. I'm hoping Rhino replaces this and sends us the new one ASAP. Because as I stated, I got other rods and reels and stuff, but I mean, I purchased that for my son. I got my son off of this. This is what my 2-year-old was using. And now he's actually able, he picked up the technique of being able to use a spin reel. So I got him off of this, which is awesome. You know, this is just one of the simple click ones. And I got him on a spinning reel now. I mean, for a 2-year-old, that is really good. But now we're out of commission because of this. So Zebco, I'm not down talking you by any means in this video, but just if you're going to put indestructible, which means cannot be damaged in any way, pretty much make this indestructible. Because as I stated, it was a pretty upsetting day to drive out 30 minutes to the ponds, fish, and then this happened and we have to turn around and go back home because I didn't bring an extra rod and reel or nothing like that. So, as I stated, they're going to replace it. I got to mail out the serial numbers on the rod. So, it is what it is. They're nice rods, honestly. As I stated, they really are. They're very light. It has the glow tip. It's the reinforced graphite core, which you can probably, I don't know if you can see it on this. It's probably going to be. But anyway, that's the graphite fiberglass. So, it is what it is. Kind of upsetting. It's practically brand new. And I check my rods consistently when I buy them at stores because a lot of people pick them up, try to flex them, break them, crack them. Or, you know, while they sit in the stores, you know, the eyes get beat up and stuff from kids playing around with them in the stores. So I check my rods and reels consistently before I buy them. And there was no issues with this at all until we get out there and he's casting us a very light swim bait, which I just set up on his other pole now. So it's not like he was casting out anything heavy. This is what he's casting out. There was no snags, nothing. He's just casting out. Next thing you know, he's got a big mess. And there's the issue. The eyes fell right out. So I just thought I'd make a video on it, you guys. It's not indestructible. As I stated, my buddy's cracked right in half. Pretty much like right here in the center area, and he lost his 250 depth. So if you feel confident with purchasing this and casting out heavy swim baits, don't overdo yourself because they do break. They're not indestructible. So we'll go see if my buddy's ready to go fishing. Daddy! You ready to go fish now?
Yeah.
You ready to go fish now? Okay, so this is the champ using spin reels now, no more click buttons. Alright, YouTube. So we're gonna head out and go try to fish again. Well, I just thought I'd make a video on that. As I stated, it's just something I wanted to advise you guys of. By no means am I disrespecting Rhino or Zebco or anything like that. It's a great company and great quality for a low budget. But it's not indestructible. So there's my video. Much love and respects. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'm up and out. Peace.